My name is Macy Garrett, and for 28 years I lived in the shadow of my father's disappointment. General Robert Garrett, decorated war hero, strategic mastermind, the man whose name commanded respect in every military corridor. To the world, he was a legend. To me, he was the man who looked through me like I was invisible. "Macy, what are you doing here?" my father asked when I walked into his office at the Pentagon last month. "I'm hosting the Joint Chiefs in an hour." "I came to talk about my promotion to Lieutenant Colonel," I said. "Commander Hayes said it was approved 3 months ago, but I haven't received any orders." He didn't even look up from his papers. "Sit down. You're a nobody. You fly transport planes. Do you know how many real combat pilots are waiting for promotions?" "I don't fly transport planes, Dad. I'm special operations." "You're a pilot," he said dismissively. "Your brother Kyle is leading tactical units in active combat zones. That's real military service. That's what this family stands for." "Kyle washed out of flight school," I said quietly. "Because he chose infantry," my father snapped. "He chose to serve with honor, not hide behind a control stick. He's making a real difference." I clenched my fists. "I've completed 47 missions. Transport missions," he interrupted. "Supply runs and cargo. Now I have actual military business to attend to. Real officers are waiting for me. Close the door on your way out." "Dad, if you would just listen." "I said close the door, Captain," he said, his voice turning to ice. "That's an order." That night I called my best friend, Captain Jessica Torres. We'd been through flight school together, and she was one of the few people who knew the truth about my service record. "Jess, he did it again," I said. "He dismissed everything I've done, made me feel like I'm worthless." "Macy, you're Ghost 13, Jessica said firmly. "You led the operation that extracted those diplomats from Syria. You flew into a hostile zone with zero visibility and brought everyone home. Your father doesn't get to erase that." "He doesn't even know about Ghost 13, I admitted. "All my commendations go through classified channels. As far as he knows, I fly cargo." "Then maybe it's time he learned the truth," Jessica said. "Have you considered that he might be actively blocking your career? This isn't normal, Macy. You should have been promoted twice by now." "What do you mean, blocking?" "Macy, you should have been promoted years ago. Your file is stellar. Someone with General Garrett's access could easily intercept those orders. He has the clearance and the authority." My blood ran cold. "You think he's sabotaging me?" "I think you need to find out," Jessica said. "I have a friend at JAG, Major David Chen. He's handled cases involving corruption in the chain of command. High-level stuff. Let me set up a meeting." "This could destroy his career," I said. "He's already destroying yours," Jessica replied. "How many more years are you going to let him make you feel like a nobody? How many more missions are you going to fly while he tells everyone you're just a cargo pilot?" The next morning, I met Major Chen at a coffee shop off base. He was in his early 40s with sharp eyes that missed nothing. "Captain Torres briefed me on your situation," he said. "Tell me everything. Don't leave out any details, no matter how small." I laid it out. The missed promotions, the dismissiveness, my father's constant comparisons to Kyle, the way he refused to acknowledge my actual service. "Do you have access to your complete service record?" Major Chen asked. "Only the unclassified portions," I said. "I'll need authorization to pull your classified file," he said. "If your father has been interfering with your career progression, there will be a paper trail. Men like him get sloppy when they think they're untouchable. Are you prepared for what we might find?" "I need to know the truth," I said. "Then we'll get it," Major Chen said. "But understand, if General Garrett has abused his position, this goes to a military court. There's no going back once we start. This will be public, messy." "He called me a nobody," I said quietly. "I'm done going back." Major Chen worked fast. Within a week, he'd pulled my complete service record through official JAG channels. When he called me to his office, his expression was grim. "Sit down, Captain Garrett," he said. "What I'm about to show you is going to be difficult." He slid a folder across the desk. Inside were copies of 3 promotion orders, all approved, all signed by my commanding officers, all dated over the past 2 years. "These were approved," I said, confused. "Why didn't I receive them?" "Because they were intercepted," Major Chen said. "Your father used his security clearance to access personnel files. He flagged your orders for additional review and then buried them in administrative channels. They never reached your command." My hands shook as I flipped through the pages. "He's been blocking my career for 2 years?" At least 2 years that we can document, Major Chen confirmed. There's more. Your classified commendations, the ones from your Ghost 13 missions, were submitted for higher recognition. The Distinguished Flying Cross, the Air Medal with Valor, someone with general-level access removed them from the approval pipeline. He destroyed evidence of my service? I whispered. He systematically erased your achievements, Major Chen said. There's also communication between your father and several senior officers, where he suggested you were unsuited for combat roles and recommended you be restricted to transport operations. He told them you lacked the mental fortitude for real combat. That's a lie, I said. I have the highest mission success rate in my squadron. I know, Major Chen said. I spoke with Colonel Sarah Martinez, your squadron commander. She's furious. She submitted you for the Distinguished Flying Cross after the Syria extraction. That commendation disappeared within 48 hours. Can we prove he took it? The access logs show General Garrett's credentials were used to access your classified file 17 times over 2 years, Major Chen said. Each access corresponds with a missing commendation or blocked promotion. The timestamps match perfectly. We can prove it beyond any reasonable doubt. I stared at the evidence, feeling years of self-doubt transform into rage. What do I do? We build a case, Major Chen said. I'll need witness statements from your commanding officers. Captain Torres has already agreed to testify. Colonel Martinez wants to speak with you directly. She had no idea your father was interfering. She's ready to go to war over this. He did this because I'm his daughter, I said, because I'm not Kyle. He did this because he abused his position, Major Chen corrected, and he's going to answer for it. The military takes this seriously. Over the next 2 weeks, we built an airtight case. Colonel Martinez provided documentation of every mission I'd flown, every commendation she'd submitted, every promotion she'd recommended. Macy, I don't understand how this happened, Colonel Martinez said during our meeting. You're one of the finest pilots I've ever commanded. Your father should be proud. He should be bragging about you to everyone. He's ashamed, I said. Ashamed that his daughter does what he thinks only men should do. Then he's a fool, Colonel Martinez said bluntly. I'm testifying at this hearing. The entire Special Operations community will back you, every single one of us. Jessica helped me compile mission logs, flight records, and peer evaluations. Every piece of evidence painted the same picture. I was an exceptional officer whose career had been deliberately sabotaged by the one person who should have supported me. Are you scared? Jessica asked the night before we filed the formal complaint. Terrified, I admitted. But I'm done being nobody. He needs to face what he's done. You're Ghost 13, Jessica said. You've faced worse than one corrupt general. Major Chen filed the complaint with the Inspector General's office on a Monday morning. By Tuesday afternoon, my father was ordered to appear before a military inquiry board. He's going to know it was you, Major Chen warned. He'll call. He'll try to intimidate you. Good, I said. I want him to know. The inquiry was scheduled for the following week at the Pentagon. My father's attorney tried to get it dismissed, arguing that the evidence was circumstantial. Major Chen shut that down immediately. General Garrett's credentials accessed classified personnel files without authorization, Major Chen stated in the preliminary hearing. The Inspector General has confirmed that these accesses violated protocol and security regulations. This proceeds to full inquiry. 3 days before the hearing, my father finally called me. Macy, what have you done? His voice was cold, controlled. I filed a complaint about my blocked promotions, I said calmly. Do you have any idea what you've started? He demanded. You're going to destroy my career over your hurt feelings, over some misunderstanding? You destroyed my career, I said. For 2 years you sabotaged my service record. I was protecting you, he said. Combat operations are dangerous. You're my daughter. I couldn't let you get killed. You recommended I be restricted to transport operations, I interrupted. You told senior officers I was unsuited for combat roles. You removed commendations from my file. You blocked my promotions. Silence. How did you... he started. The access logs, Dad. Every time you logged into my classified file, every commendation you deleted, every promotion order you buried. We have all of it. Timestamps, IP addresses, everything. I'm a 3-star general, he said. You're a captain. No one will believe. They already believe, I said. Colonel Martinez is testifying. So is Captain Torres. So are the commanders from every mission I flew. They know exactly who I am and what I've done. They know about Ghost 13. Ghost 13, he said, and I heard confusion in his voice. My call sign, I said. The one I earned flying missions you'll never read about, the ones you tried to erase. This is insane, he said. You're throwing away everything for pride. You threw away my career because you couldn't accept that your daughter is a better officer than your son, I said. See you at the inquiry, General. I hung up. The hearing room was packed. Major Chen had gathered 12 witnesses, commanding officers, fellow pilots, intelligence officers who'd worked with Ghost 13 on classified operations. My father sat at the defense table with his attorney, his face rigid, his jaw clenched. Admiral James Harrison presided over the inquiry board. This hearing will determine whether General Robert Garrett violated military regulations regarding personnel management and security protocols. Major Chen, present your case. Major Chen methodically presented the evidence. Access logs, deleted commendations, intercepted promotion orders. Each piece of evidence was documented, time-stamped, and irrefutable. Then Colonel Martinez took the stand. Colonel Martinez, how would you characterize Captain Garrett's service record? Major Chen asked. Exceptional, she said firmly. Captain Garrett has flown 47 special operations missions with a 100% success rate. She's the pilot we call for the most dangerous assignments, the ones nobody else wants. Can you explain the call sign, Ghost 13? Ghost 13 refers to Captain Garrett's ability to complete missions under impossible conditions, Colonel Martinez said. She extracted diplomats from Syria during a sandstorm with zero visibility. She flew into hostile territory in Yemen and brought out 12 civilians under heavy fire. She navigated through enemy radar systems that should have detected her. She's the best combat pilot I've ever commanded. Were you aware that General Garrett was her father? Not until this investigation, Colonel Martinez said. I submitted Captain Garrett for the Distinguished Flying Cross 18 months ago. That commendation never reached approval. Now I know why. My father's attorney stood. Objection. Colonel Martinez is speculating. I'm reading from the access logs, Colonel Martinez said coldly. General Garrett accessed my submission 3 days after I filed it. It was never seen again. That's not speculation, that's fact. The room fell silent. Admiral Harrison looked at my father. General Garrett, do you wish to respond to these allegations? My father stood slowly. Admiral, I acted to protect my daughter from dangerous assignments. You acted to sabotage her career, Colonel Martinez interrupted. You denied her the recognition she earned. You blocked promotions she deserved. You abused your position and violated your oath. She's my daughter, my father said, his composure finally cracking. I have a right to protect my child. She's a United States military officer, Admiral Harrison said sharply, and you violated your oath to treat her as such. This inquiry finds sufficient evidence to proceed to court-martial. The court-martial took 3 months. Major Chen presented overwhelming evidence of misconduct, abuse of authority, and violation of security protocols. My father's defense crumbled under the weight of documentation. 17 officers testified on my behalf. The special operations community rallied around Ghost 13. Even officers who'd never met me came forward to condemn what my father had done. General Garrett didn't just hurt his daughter, one commander testified. He undermined the integrity of our entire promotion system. He made us question whether merit matters. The verdict came down on a cold November morning, guilty on all charges. General Robert Garrett, you are hereby reduced in rank to colonel, effective immediately, the judge said. You will forfeit 50% of your pension. You are banned from serving in any advisory or consulting capacity within the Department of Defense. You will serve no prison time due to your prior service, but this court-martial is a permanent mark on your service record. You are dismissed. My father sat motionless as his career disintegrated. After the verdict, I was summoned to the Pentagon. Admiral Harrison himself pinned on my new rank. Lieutenant Colonel Garrett, he said, on behalf of the United States military, I apologize for the injustice you suffered. Your service record has been fully restored. All commendations have been reinstated. You are receiving the Distinguished Flying Cross, the Air Medal with Valor, and a formal commendation from this office. Thank you, sir, I said. I have one question, Admiral Harrison said. Why didn't you come forward sooner? Because he was my father, I said quietly. I kept hoping he'd be proud of me. I didn't realize he was sabotaging me. I thought I wasn't good enough. He was never worthy of you, Admiral Harrison said. The military is better because of officers like you. We're fortunate you stayed. 3 weeks later, I received orders for my next assignment, training the next generation of special operations pilots at the Naval Air Station. Jessica met me for coffee to celebrate. "How does it feel?" she asked. "Like I can finally breathe," I said. "I spent years thinking I wasn't good enough. Turns out I was too good, and he couldn't handle it." "Your father tried to make you nobody," Jessica said. "But you were always Ghost 13. "I was," I agreed, "and now everyone knows it." I never spoke to my father again. He tried calling once, leaving a voicemail asking for forgiveness, claiming he'd only wanted to protect me. I deleted it without listening to the whole thing. Some betrayals don't deserve second chances. Kyle called to apologize. "I didn't know what Dad was doing," he said. "I'm sorry, Macy. I should have noticed something was wrong. It's not your fault," I told him. "But I need space from the family right now." He understood. My mother called too. "Your father is devastated," she said. "He lost everything." "So did I replied. "For 2 years he made me believe I was worthless. The difference is I earned everything back. Today, I'm a lieutenant colonel training the best pilots in the military. My call sign is known throughout special operations. When someone asks about Ghost 13, they hear about courage, skill, and excellence. They never hear about the general who tried to bury his daughter's achievements because he couldn't accept that she was everything he wished he'd been. I didn't get revenge, I got justice. And that's so much better. Have you ever had a parent or family member sabotage your success because they couldn't handle your achievements? What would you have done in my situation? Like and subscribe for more stories about people who refused to be victims and fought back the right way.